We at Agena, we look to really understand that motorist journey. I want to transform the perception of parking.
Welcome to our first In the Spotlight interview of the year. Today we're joined by Paul Dawson, CEO of the Agena Group. Paul will be sharing insights into the company's growth, their innovative solutions, and Agena Group's approach to key industry challenges like digital transformation and sustainability. It's a great way to start the year, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about how they're shaping the future of parking management. Paul, thanks for taking the time to chat with me today. It's a pleasure to be speaking with you.
No, you too. Yeah, great to see you again.
To start us off, could you give us a brief overview of Agena Group and the key companies within its portfolio?
Yeah, of course. So Agena Group is a UK-based private parking management company, and we operate across a whole range of sectors, both across the invited and the uninvited parking markets. And we use our subsidiaries and our brands to really focus on how we tailor those services into those core markets. So our technology business, which underpins and provides an end-to-end platform to a number of people across the UK, is called Agena. We also have two of our key leading parking management companies in the UK. UK Car Park Management, which has a real focus on the residential, healthcare and education sectors, and Premier Park, which focuses in the retail, hospitality and commercial markets. But also our final subsidiary is a business called Parkwatch, which focuses almost exclusively in the retail and property management space, and also more recently on our car park, our self-ticketing solution to clients.
You mentioned uninvited parking earlier, which I know is something your team approaches in a unique way. Could you walk us through that?
Yeah, so uninvited parking for me is about managing those parking assets for people who have an express right to be there. So within the healthcare and education setting, that will be the effective management of permits allocated to members of staff who are invited to bring their vehicles when travelling to work. Our platform SIPI will manage that entire enhanced process of entitlement, and also all the way from the individual's application. And we will determine, based on availability of other transport options, whether that individual, in conjunction with our client, should have a right to park at that facility. Well, probably our most dominant market would be the private residential and social housing setting, where again we're using SIPI, a combination of our field-based teams and our camera technology solutions to manage people's entitlements and protect those assets from people who don't have a right to be there.
So there's been quite a significant digital transformation across the industry, and I know this is something you're actively involved in. Could you tell me how products like Agena or SIPI fit into this transformation, and what your overall perspective is on the shift towards digital?
Yeah, for me, it's about really focusing on that experience of the motorist. We at Agena, we look to really understand that motorist journey. I want to transform the perception of parking, and for parking to be an extension of the wider experience that individual is visiting that location for. So digitizing that journey gives us great opportunity to use our camera solutions to focus really heavily on the data and the insights that we can deliver to our clients to better understand how those assets are being utilized, and also consumer behavior. And through the likes of SIPI, we can now automate that journey and automate that process through a digital transaction, both for cashless parking, for digital permits, but increasingly now we're also connecting contactless access control to those journeys. So pre-booking your car park to a secure location, also enabling access throughout that facility. However, we need to be mindful whilst we digitize these journeys, there are still demographics of society who are not ready for that shift. So we're always mindful to be as inclusive as we possibly can on providing those services to our clients.
Providing options really seems like the most effective approach for now. I know sustainability is a topic that's really important to you. Can you share how Agena is addressing its environmental impact and driving sustainability within the industry?
Yeah, for me, sustainability, and I think really thinking about the impact you have as an organisation and as individuals on the environment has never been more important. We're about to launch our year 4 ESG plan, and we've been very focused on how we can reduce the impact we have on the environment. So last year we became a carbon neutral business. My understanding is one of the very few organisations within our sector to have taken that leap. But we also focus very hard on things like waste, and we now have 0 of our waste going to landfill. And it's about acting on what we say. One of our values as an organisation is about being ethical. And in everything we do, we're trying to act more sustainable, reduce the impact on our environment, and be as ethical as we possibly can as a business. And those are real driving heart behind our organisation. Within the business, we have an environmental committee, and they really lead the charge on how we operate across all aspects of our ESG strategy. What it's also created is a real momentum in terms of our sales. Acting in that way from an ESG perspective has really helped facilitate growth.
Does this focus on sustainability also influence how you approach revenue optimization, particularly in terms of new parking models?
It does, absolutely, yeah. So we have a fully deployable ANPR solution, which allows some of those inaccessible locations to now migrate into a different product offering. We're also looking at how customers can vary the cost of paid parking based on the emissions of the vehicle. And through our data insights platform, we look deeply in terms of the behavior of those vehicles. So seeing, for example, the rise in the proportion of electric vehicles into a location, how does that help someone start to define and refine their EV charging strategy? Also calculating the emissions based on the manufacturer's data of every vehicle that's travelled, we can help car park owners, property managers now calculate the carbon footprint of these car parking facilities. And that's becoming incredibly important to our business.
The parking industry seems to be evolving rapidly, especially with concepts like mobility hubs. What's your take on how parking facilities can be reimagined as multi-purpose hubs?
I think, parking assets for me have long been an underutilised asset. I think they've been overlooked by property owners, by managing agents, and they've been that piece of land connected to another facility. As we move forward and with all of the changes in front of us, the shift to EV, the move to autonomous, the need for us to be more efficient in our movement and mobility within cities, I truly feel these parking assets have the ability to really unlock this concept of mobility, this ability to use a parking facility for different modes of transport. Yes, to park your car, yes, to leave your bike, yes, to connect to other facilities.
So lastly, Paul, looking at the international parking market, what are your ambitions for Agena's global growth, and how do you see the business scaling in new regions?
For me, I've been involved in the UK parking market for a very long time now, and I see lots of similarities as I look wider across Europe on the opportunity for businesses to scale within that European geography. We're very focused on internationalizing Agena. We're very focused on moving our business into some of those geographical areas. And yes, I think everything has to be very focused on the country for which you operate. But I also believe some of the data and the insights, some of the use of technology, that focus on consumer behavior is an incredibly important step forward across many European cities and many European countries. And we've seen a number of those markets evolve. The DACH region for us is a particular interest, and that's an area as part of our medium to long-term strategy. We're very focused on looking at how Agena can add to the portfolio of organisations we have and move forward more on an international footing.
Thanks so much, Paul. Wishing you all the best as you take these exciting next steps.
Thanks for your time. It's been really good to join you today.
And that wraps up our first In the Spotlight interview of 2025. A big thank you to Paul for sharing his time and valuable perspectives. Stay tuned for more interviews throughout the year as we continue to spotlight companies and the leaders behind them who are shaping the future of their industries. Thanks for watching.